feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't run it away.
I see loose break. The calls have stopped. What's the update on the Big U Enterprise Rico? I feel like this is the first case that I could say I feel like you know the paperwork a little bit more than me, just because I think you've just read it and you know some of these characters. I haven't put every piece together like that. What's the update on that? And
well, everything is as it stands. Everything has been sticking. The out of the 7, only 3 in there is Big U and Loose Cannon. They're the only 2. Remember, Brick Baby's not in the Rico. He just was arrested on the rolling 60 sweep up. He's not in the Rico.
Hey, by the way, you know I spoke to him, right? So I spoke to him, and he was like, this was the day before he was gonna go to court. He was pretty confident. He was like, yo, I think I'm gonna get bail. And I talked to Luce as well. They were pretty sure they were getting bail. Like, again, I haven't followed everything with the paperwork.
Well, Loose Cannon went to here. I see you, Loose Cannon shit now, because everybody was running the narrative that they couldn't find Loose Cannon's paperwork. We could find everybody else's paperwork but his, and all this shit. And when you can't find people's paperwork like that, it starts to look a little fishy. But my team popped up, I believe Ghost found it today. So here's Luce's paperwork right here, so you have it on why they detained him.
Oh yeah, because we seen the thing with Bricc, and they were saying all type of things that we didn't know. I mean,
yeah. So they really detained him. Believe it or not, bro, they detained him based upon the nature of the offense and defendant's role in the alleged extortion robbery, which is why he was there. 2 active protection orders, noting one is reciprocal, and then outstanding warrants, report of violence of January 25 incident, which is I don't know what the January 2025 incident, because No Jumper was December 2024.
Hey, let me ask you a question, right? So, and this is my whole. Don't you think it's odd that supposedly they're communicating that much while being incarcerated? I know that Bricc isn't on the Rico with them, but here's the thing: you don't think that the feds might have some type of vested interest on, hey, these 2 dudes know each other, they're locked up for not the same thing, but let's just say something that's similar, or it was in the same sweep. If we get them to talk to each other, we might get something. I feel like it's a setup. Like every time I
mean, it could be. I don't believe that Bricc and Loose on this situation. I don't think they were part of each other's demonstrations, whatever they got went to jail for. I don't believe Bricc had anything to do with the alleged robbery they're accusing Loose of, and Loose has nothing to do with the gun charges in the little parking lot shooting that they're accusing Bricc of. But maybe they putting them together to see if they're going to talk about something. Maybe they are. Maybe they put them together to see if they're going to do something to each other.
All right.
Maybe they just didn't give it any thought at all. I don't know.
No, they definitely gave it thought. Well, I got a wild theory, and I want you to weigh in on this. I don't know if you've ever heard of this character. There's a character named Whitey Bulger, and it was basically this person.
I know Whitey Bulger.
Okay, he basically was a person who worked with the police, but he was still pretty much active in the streets or whatever, until he did some stuff that the cops didn't like. Yeah. When I look at even them being incarcerated, I'm like, and I'm not making no accusations here, but I'm like, it feels like because I've heard this before. I forgot who they did this with, where they'll put a cellmate in your cell with a listening device or try to extract evidence while you're locked up. I'm like, if they're doing that with Loose and Bricc, I gotta believe there's somebody in the mix. It could be Loose or Bricc or anybody else that they're like, yo, this person, we're gonna strategically make them look like they're also with everybody else, but that person is actually trying to extract information because why the hell would the feds want any of these guys talking to each other?
I mean, well, let's add to your theory. Why, after all those years of Bricc baby saying, fuck Loose Cannon, I don't know Loose Cannon, he ain't from the hood, on the dead homies, I'll never sit down with you, I won't fuck with you. We had shit arranged 2-3 times with Bricc pulled out, and then all of a sudden, he just does it. You know, if that person is anybody between the two, it would definitely be Bricc, because Bricc was the one showing resistance, wouldn't have nothing to do with Loose Cannon, none of that shit. And all of a sudden, it was cool, bring him in. And then all of a sudden, the next day, they're all arrested. So right before the arrest, it's cool, bring him in, we're good. Because for years, he wouldn't talk to Loose. He denounced Loose, said Loose wasn't from his neighborhood. I never heard of you, never seen you. You ain't been put on. They said egregious shit to one another. Then all of a sudden, I know what Loose Cannon's motive is. Loose Cannon's motive is he trying to get his foot in the door and build his little YouTube social media presence. Well, Bricc, you already had that going on. So what was your motive? I mean, this is based upon your theory.
Wait, what?
Did you miss something?
No. You make actually perfect sense.
Yeah, I'm just going with your theory. Instead of me debunking, I'm going with your theory, because for years and years, Bricc baby's whole stance is fuck Loose Cannon. I don't know you. You ain't from the hood.
The reason why you're fucking me up is because here's the thing: if the feds is like, hey, well, we're gonna bring him in anyway, but we're just gonna just throw them in the same area, but we can't have them beefing because there will be no trust. Let's have them be cool, and right when they get cool, now they come in. Now it's no problem them being the same.
But that instruction would have to go to Bricc baby, because he was the one with keeping the door closed. He opened the door. If he said he wasn't going to interview with Loose like he did 2-3 other times when we were coming in, he always wanted to interview with me. But I'm like, I'm not going to interview with you unless you interview with Loose. Right? And like, all right, every time he said he would do it, he would leave right before we got there. He didn't like Loose. He didn't fuck with Loose. He didn't know Loose. So then all of a sudden, it's cool. All of a sudden, let's meet and bring your kids with you. That was 2 weeks prior. And then all of a sudden, all right, it's cool. Come up here. I'll interview with you. Then the next day they go to jail. And then the first day Loose gets to LA, because it took him 2 weeks to get there. It's cool. We're in the same cell. It was all love because of the previous 2-3 weeks. So if any of that massaging was happening or that communication with them people, is coming from Bricc baby's side. He's the one that wasn't named in the Rico, and they could have named him in the Rico because he's in there having discussions about certain things. They could have, but they didn't. If we just build on your theory.
Like, yo, this shit is something else, bro. No,
trust me, I know.
Yeah, I agree with you, and everything you're saying is right. It's hard to think, and I think I perceive Bricc in a certain way, but what you just said does have a little bit of merit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, just building off your theory. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, both their cases is pretty cut and dry. Bricc got some gun cases, ammunition, and a shooting, and allegedly, they call him dead bang, and Loose Cannon allegedly got a robbery. But looking at this paperwork, what is January 2025? That must be a typo, because I believe the other incident was December.
Man, this shit's great. Hey, can I bring up this other Wack, please? Wack, could you